One of the real advantages of having a community tank is mixing different creatures together. Different kinds of fish, different plants, and sometimes you wonder just what else you can mix. And a few years ago I put some shrimp in this tank which had these clown loaches in it, and it's all thanks to a man in England, and his name is Daniel Keeping Fish. Because YouTube found that I was searching for shrimp and aquarium shrimp, and they gave me Daniel Keeping Fish as a suggested video, and that was one where he was keeping shrimp in a community tank with lots of different fish. So knowing it could be done, I went out and bought some red cherry shrimp and put them into this small tank here, where I just saw if they would live with some guppies and how they would go. And they didn't just survive, they flourished. They bred and they bred, and I had so many shrimp in this little tank. I thought, I wonder what would happen if I put some of these little shrimp in my large tank with my big fish, but it had lots of plants in it, and let's just see how they go. Well, my large tank had so many plants in there that those shrimp did very well as well, and they bred in that tank. And they bred to the stage where they were out in the open with all the big fish, red-tailed shark, betters, clown loaches, and the fish didn't bother them at all, and the shrimp almost played with them. It was quite amazing to see. So if you keep looking on YouTube for shrimp videos, you find Mark's shrimp tanks. And even though when I drove out to this new store that I'd never been to before to see some fish, Mark's Shrimp Tanks is the first person I thought of when I saw what was in some of their tanks. I'm going to show you some shrimp, some Australian shrimp, that make his shrimp look tiny. Pets Domain is a pet store that I'd never thought of going into before because they do specialise predominantly in dog food, cat food, other dry accessories, and I didn't really think they had fish. But for a few different reasons, I found out that they did have fish, and I thought I'd check them out and give them a visit, and I found out they've got some very, very good fish and some fantastic range of fish accessories, far bigger than I expected to find in a pet store. So this is a bit of a plug for Pets Domain for all you people in Australia. And of course, I had a look at the different fish in their fish tanks, and the prices were exceptional. The last couple of years has been so hard for retailers in every category of product, so aquarium stores have had it just as tough or harder than most others, and pricing seems to have gone through the roof. So when I came into this Pets Domain store, I could not believe just how good the pricing was, and also that the tanks were incredibly clean, the fish very healthy. And yes, I did buy some fish while I was in there. But back to Mark's shrimp tanks and have a look at these. These are not really a shrimp. These are actually called Australian yabbies, a little freshwater crayfish. But I tell you what, they are spectacular and they are big. For those of you who don't know, Mark at Mark's Shrimp Tanks had surgery on his eyes earlier this year. And of course, one of the reasons he would have had poor eyesight is because his shrimp are just so tiny. And if you have to look at tiny things every single day, you're going to squint and your eyes are going to really strain, and of course you're going to get trouble with them. So it'd be far better for people like Mark to keep these huge Australian crayfish, and then of course you wouldn't need to get so close to the tank and squint your eyes quite so hard, because these things are enormous. You can stand back, admire them from a distance, and isn't that a much better way to go? So Mark, watch this video, and there's a suggestion for you, buddy. Get these big babies in your tanks and make some more videos for us. Mark's been going through a few changes over the years where he's come to like to have fish in his tanks with the shrimp, which is a fantastic thing. And of course, he's also started to love having shorts on his YouTube channel. So Mark continues to learn and just get better and better. So why not have some Australian yabbies? And let's just see if we can get a bit of a fan club all around the world for people who love these huge crustaceans. So that's my shout out to Mark and also Daniel Keeping Fish. And while you're there, why not subscribe to both of those fantastic channels? And I appreciate you watching this video, and for the next one, why not watch one of these?